One of the most debilitating things you can experience in life is mental illness. It can really make you feel like you're all alone with nobody to help, nothing to help. There is nothing and no one around in sight. When a researcher at Stanford University told ChatGPT that they just lost their job, they wanted to know where to find the tallest bridges in New York. The AI chatbot offered some consolation. "I'm sorry to hear about your job," it wrote. "That sounds really tough." It then proceeded to list the 3 tallest bridges in New York. I want to speak on today's subject lightly and reverently for many obvious reasons. This is a very, very deep topic and one that actually speaks to me personally quite a lot. I intimately understand how easy it is to feel lost, to feel in a situation where you will seek out help by any means necessary. It's really interesting because I've delved into this topic in quite intensity as of recent, because one of the biggest fears, if you will, one of the biggest counter arguments against AI, against artificial intelligence, is this continued proclamation that it is one of the most dangerous things that can easily get inside of a person's head and can completely distort and disrupt and twist within. And even the creators themselves don't even really, they can't even begin to wrestle with the philosophical challenges, the technical challenges, the intellectual challenges. When dealing with human mental health, a level and a layer of complexity is immediately added to the problem that confounds even some of the wisest and smartest of our entire species. The thing is, too, is it's not exactly clear where we go from here either. There really is, in my opinion, no right or wrong answer. It's very easy for people to fall into the stereotypical radical extremes, right? It's very easy for somebody to just say, well, unplug it all, just turn it off, hit that light switch, just end it, it's done, it's over. We don't want it, we don't need it, get rid of it. It's really easy for people to say that. And simultaneously, and opposite to that belief and mindset, you have those who would actually double, triple down on it. They would actually say, no. What you're failing to understand is that the machine intellect is in fact where our intellects need to lie. We need to be looking for ways to synthesize, to plug in more, to integrate further and deeper into the machines. Yeah, believe it or not, there are people who actually unironically subscribe to that notion. More on them in a future Snapchat soon. But in the meantime, the thing is, and what I've generally kind of comprehended and taken to myself, is oftentimes we have to look at artificial intelligence as nothing more than a tool. And that right there is a controversial statement. But hear me out. A gun is nothing more than a tool. And in the right or wrong hands, a gun can bring life into existence, and a gun can end life in a flash. My personal adopted mindset has basically been, it still comes down to the individual at the end of the day. The way you utilize a tool can very much determine your success or your failure with said tool and without it. We don't know a lot about the very thing we are developing. Even the experts, even the engineers and architects of the very thing itself have openly admitted that there's a lot going on that they're not even privy to. So therefore, we need to approach it with caution, and we need to approach it with reverence. People want to automatically lean into arbitrary regulation and restriction. But think for a moment, can you force every single person who ever logs into Google into doing a psych eval just to Google search something? Think about the pragmatic nature of that. Think about how practical that really is. And now you begin to understand why this subject is so complicated and so convoluted. Artificial intelligence is a drastic, major innovation, but it is also a drastic, major disruptor. You have heard me say it again and again and again and again, and I will continue to say it again and again and again. There's no short or simple answer here. There's no right or wrong answer here. Me personally, I've prescribed to the individualist mindset. I think it comes down to the individual, and it comes down to their individual responsibility to utilize things properly. But that's just me. And I don't want you to think that I'm right. I'm not saying that I'm right. And that's where the discussion leads today. So where do you stand with all of this? Do you think that it is such an existential danger to our psyche, to our mentality, that we ought to just shut it down wholesale? Forget it ever happened, forget it ever existed? Is that how we should just proceed onwards? Where do you lie within all of this? And what are your thoughts, your opinions on the matter? This is obviously a very deep and a very complex subject. And me personally, I am not an expert in the field of mental illness. I am only an unwilling participant. I do personally understand the fight and the struggle with mental instability. I genuinely, intimately, really do know. I really do. But that doesn't mean that our opinions are automatically forfeit. So, come on, tell me what you think. Tell me what you know. Where are your thoughts? Where are your opinions on this? And where do we go from here?